Yeah, b3. Solid, I guess. Aiming for that bishop b2 pressure eventually. We'll see. c5 is a solid move that takes control of the center after white's cautious first move. Developing the bishop, classic fianchetto. Developing the knight while grabbing the center, textbook opening. Developing the knight and attacking the center at the same time, efficient. Developing the knight while grabbing the center, textbook opening. Getting that bishop ready to rumble. Getting that bishop ready to rumble. This is just the strongest option. Very precise. Getting ready to unleash the bishop, I see. Solid move, but not the best. Not the best move, too bad. Developing the knight while grabbing the center, textbook opening. Equal trade keeps things simple. Takes back. Standard procedure. Equal trade, keeping it simple. Recapturing, keeping it simple. Classic kingside castling, textbook stuff. Developing the bishop while grabbing the center, textbook opening. A solid choice. Solid move. Textbook fianchetto, solid positional play. This stops the opponent from having the ability to snag the pawn with a tactic. Wow, they totally missed a way to develop further. This allows the opponent to force doubling of pawns. This misses out on the chance to force doubling of pawns. That's a much safer square for the pawn. Live to fight another day. Protecting the knight. Smart move. Shielding the knight. Smart move. This starts to create the threat to snag the pawn with a tactic. Gaining tempo by attacking a queen. Solid move. Applying pressure and threatening to checkmate the king. That blocks them from trying to checkmate the king. Sometimes the best move is getting out of danger. Yikes, this lets the opponent eventually win a pawn. White is about to be up a pawn if they play their cards right, and black can't do anything about it. Recapturing is the obvious move. Textbook. Textbook. Taking back what's rightfully theirs. Textbook. That's what I call using your time wisely. Critical thinking at its finest. Activating the bishop, giving it more control over the board. A wise choice, gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them. Setting up a multi-attack, will black see it coming? Sometimes the best move is getting out of danger. That's a powerful discovery. White will win a pawn. Solid defense, textbook stuff. Taking that pawn wins material after the trades. I like it. The correct move to avoid danger. Nothing wrong with a bit of safety. Building up the pawn chain. Smart. The best move, simple as that. Too bad they missed a chance to take an open file with a rook. A wise decision to move their rook out of harm's way. This overlooks an opportunity to add a defender to a vulnerable pawn. Equal trade keeps things simple. Equal trade, keeping it simple. That's the one. What a find. Recaptures from a previous move. This basically hands the opponent the chance to challenge the opposing rook for the open file. Taking control of that open file, classic rook move. Smart move. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. Trading pieces, keeping it balanced. Textbook stuff. Recapturing is the way to go. Simple, but effective. Sometimes the best move is getting out of danger. There were worse moves, but also something much better. A wise decision to move their bishop out of harm's way. They are giving away a free rook. Grabbing that free rook. Shielding the bishop, smart move. Sometimes the best move is getting out of danger. Thumbs up for this one. Getting the king involved, endgame style. A wise choice, gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them. This is just the strongest option, very precise. This recapture is straightforward. Excellent move. Equal trade, keeping it simple. Trading pieces, keeping it balanced. Textbook stuff. Trading pieces, keeping it balanced. Black is taking out the threat. That passed pawn is gone. A wise decision to move their knight out of harm's way. A solid choice. Getting that king involved in the action. Endgame fundamentals. Thumbs up for this one. Excellent move. A solid choice. This sets up the threat to win a rook through a fork. That blocks them from trying to win a rook through a fork. Thumbs up for this one. The correct move to avoid danger, nothing wrong with a bit of safety. Textbook. The best move, simple as that. Excellent move. A solid choice. That knight has found a new and active square. This puts their rook on a safer square. That's a much safer square for the knight. Live to fight another day. That bishop's got some serious range now. Thumbs up for this one. Excellent move. This puts their knight on a safer square. A solid choice. Smart move. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. This puts their bishop on a safer square. Thumbs up for this one. The correct move to avoid danger. Nothing wrong with a bit of safety. Dodging the pawn's check. Smooth. Excellent move. This gives the opponent the green light to eventually win a knight by revealing a check and attacking a piece at the same time. Not a mistake, but not the best move either. Standard. Dodging the bishop's check. Smooth move. A solid choice. That passed pawn is marching down the board. Dodging the check. Smart move. This is just the strongest option. Very precise. Dodging the knight's check. Smooth. A wise choice. Gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them. Thumbs up for this one. That's a much safer square for the knight. Live to fight another day. Solid defense, textbook stuff. That passed pawn is on a mission. Excellent move. This threatens to win material through a tactic. Equal trade keeps things simple. Textbook. Protecting the attacked pawn. The best move, simple as that. Equal trade, keeping it simple. Removing that passer, that was a real pain. That bishop's ready to cause some trouble now. A solid choice. This is just the strongest option. Very precise. Dodging the rook's check. Smooth move. That's an okay move. Textbook. The correct move to avoid danger. Nothing wrong with a bit of safety. The best move. Simple as that. Protecting the bishop. A solid if uninspired choice. This is just the strongest option. Very precise. Dodging the check. Smart move. Solid move, but not the best. Thumbs up for this one. Dodging the rook's check. Smooth. Textbook. Dodging the rook's check. Smooth move. Activating the bishop, giving it more control over the board. The best move, simple as that. Immobilizing the knight, classic pin. Solid move. Sometimes the best move is getting out of danger. That was the only move. Gotta love it. This is just the strongest option. Very precise. Dodging the rook's check, smooth. Textbook. The best move, simple as that. That's putting pressure with a threat to force eventual checkmate. The correct move to get to safety, nothing wrong with a bit of safety. Excellent move. Dodging the rook's check, smooth move. Not a mistake, but not the best move either. Standard. That's an okay move. Pinning the attacker, clever move. Solid defense, textbook stuff. A solid choice. That blocks them from trying to force eventual checkmate. Dodging the knight's check, smooth. This is just the strongest option. Very precise. Textbook. Thumbs up for this one. The best move, simple as that. Not the best move. There was something much better. This is just the strongest option. Very precise. Dodging the check, smart move. Checkmate's still on the menu, folks. Clutch move. They found a tactic in time trouble and won a knight. Impressive. Excellent move. Checkmate's still on the menu. A solid choice. Checkmate. That's all she wrote.